The rain fell in a slow, rhythmic patter against the car windows, each drop catching the faint glow of the streetlights, before slipping away into the darkness. London at night always carried a certain kind of melancholy beauty, streets slick and glistening, the air smelling faintly of wet stone and exhaust. I sat in the back seat, watching the blurred lights slide past, feeling the quiet hum of the engine beneath me. My driver, Daniel, had been silent most of the evening, his profile lit occasionally by the passing lamps. He had that kind of face, sharp yet somehow gentle, with eyes that always seemed to notice everything without revealing much in return. It was supposed to be a short trip home after a long dinner meeting, but something about the stillness of the night made me restless. I leaned forward slightly. "Daniel," I said softly, "take the longer way home. I'm not ready to end the night yet." He glanced at me in the rearview mirror, his eyes catching mine for a brief moment before he nodded. He didn't ask questions, which was one of the many reasons I trusted him more than most people in my life. The car turned down quieter streets, the city sounds fading into the distance. We drove past the clothes shops, the dim windows of apartments, and the occasional lone figure hurrying home under an umbrella. I let my gaze wander, but then I saw something, or rather, someone, a dark figure standing by a lamppost, just barely outside the circle of light, watching. I felt my chest tighten. Daniel seemed to notice my shift in posture because he asked, "Is everything all right, Miss Elena?" His voice was low, steady, like he was always prepared for something unexpected. "I thought I saw someone," I murmured, trying to sound casual. But even to my own ears, the words carried an edge. He slowed the car just slightly, scanning the mirrors. "Someone you know?" he asked. "I'm not sure," I said. But deep down, I felt a shiver crawl down my spine. The figure didn't move, just stood there. And even as we turned the corner, I had the strangest sensation that their gaze followed us. We drove for another 10 minutes, the rain picking up, the sound on the roof louder now. My thoughts drifted between curiosity and unease. Finally, I said, "Daniel, can you pull over somewhere quiet?" He didn't question it, just found a small side street with no lights, the kind of place where the world seemed to forget about you. The engine idled, and for a moment, all I could hear was the rain and the soft ticking of the dashboard clock. "Why here?" he asked gently, turning to face me. I hesitated, my fingers tracing the edge of the leather seat. "I don't know. I just needed a moment away from everything." My eyes lingered on him longer than they should have, and I caught the faintest flicker of something in his gaze, something unspoken. The space between us felt heavier, the air thicker. It was ridiculous, really. He was my driver, and I was his employer. But there had always been this undercurrent, this quiet tension that neither of us acknowledged out loud. "Do you ever feel," I began slowly, "like someone's always watching you, even when you're alone?" His eyes darkened slightly. "Yes," he said simply. "And sometimes, it's not just a feeling." His words made me straighten. "What do you mean?" He leaned a little closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "We weren't alone tonight." The moment he said it, I knew he was right. I'd felt it before, the weight of unseen eyes. But hearing it from him sent a different kind of shiver through me. "Why didn't you say anything?" I asked, my voice sharper now. He glanced toward the rearview mirror again, like he expected to see someone standing there. "Because I didn't want to scare you. And because, whoever it is, they're not making a move yet." The car felt suddenly smaller, the shadows in the corners deeper. I should have told him to take me straight home, lock the doors, and forget about this strange night. But instead, I found myself leaning forward, my voice softer now. "Then stay here with me, just for a while." His eyes met mine, and for a long moment, neither of us moved. Then he reached out slowly, his fingers brushing mine. A simple touch that sent a rush of warmth through me despite the cold outside. We stayed like that, the city around us silent, the rain blurring everything beyond the glass. And then, just when I thought the moment might break into something more, Daniel's eyes flicked to the side mirror, and his hand tightened around mine. "Don't turn your head," he murmured. "They're here." My pulse hammered in my ears. "Where?" I whispered, He didn't answer immediately, just reached forward to kill the headlights, plunging us into darkness. The only light now was from the dim orange glow of a far-off street lamp, barely reaching the edge of the alley. I kept my eyes on him, trying to steady my breathing, until I heard it, the soft crunch of footsteps on wet pavement. I wanted to look. Every instinct told me to, but his hand was firm on mine, grounding me. We sat in stillness, and then the footsteps stopped. Whoever it was. They were close enough that I could almost feel their presence pressing in. My mind was a whirlwind. Why were they following me? Was it someone from work, from the past, or a stranger with their own dark reasons? And then, just as suddenly, the sound of retreating steps. Fading. Gone. We didn't move for a long moment, both of us listening. Finally, Daniel exhaled. "They're gone," he said. But his voice didn't sound relieved, more like he knew this wasn't over. I should have felt afraid, but instead, I felt something else, an inexplicable pull toward him, as though the danger outside had somehow closed the distance between us inside. "Daniel," I said softly, "don't take me home yet." His eyes searched mine, and whatever answer he found then made him lean back, start the engine, and pull us back into the night. We didn't speak much as he drove, but every glance we exchanged in the mirror felt charged. The rain eased, leaving the streets glistening like dark glass. Finally, he stopped at a quiet overlook on the edge of the city, where the lights below twinkled like fallen stars. He cut the engine, and for a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. "This is one of my favorite places," he said, his voice softer now. "I come here when I need to think, or when I don't want anyone to find me." I smiled faintly. "Then why bring me here?" He looked at me, and there was no hiding the truth in his eyes. "Because tonight, I don't want you to be alone." The air between us was warm despite the cool breeze slipping through the cracked window. I didn't know who was watching us tonight or why, but for this moment, all I could feel was him, steady, protective, and yet something more. He reached out again, his fingertips brushing a strand of hair from my face. "Elena," he said softly, and my name in his voice was enough to make the rest of the world disappear. But somewhere in the distance, unseen and silent, I knew someone still was watching.